Giacomo Agostini. Giacomo Agostini, Italian pronunciation, ʻdʒaːkomo Agosti, born 16 June 1942, is an Italian multi-time world champion, Grand Prix motorcycle road racer. Nicknamed Ago, he amassed 122 Grand Prix wins and 15 World Championship titles. Of these, 68 wins and 8 titles came in the 500cc class, the rest in the 350cc class. For these achievements obtained over the course of a career spanning 17 years, the AMA described him as perhaps the greatest Grand Prix rider of all time. In 2000, Agostini was inducted into the MotoGP Hall of Fame as a MotoGP Legend, while in 2010, he was named an FIM Legend for his motorcycling achievements. Early career. Agostini was born in Brescia, Lombardy. His family was from Lovra, where his father was employed in the local town council. The oldest of 4 brothers, Agostini initially had to steal away to compete, first in hill climb events and then in road racing, as his father did not approve of his son's motorcycle racing career and did everything he could to persuade him not to race. Eventually, his father came to terms with his racing, and Agostini won the 1963 Italian 175 championship aboard a Morini. He got his break when Morini factory rider Tarquinio Provini left the team to ride for Benelli. Count Alfonso Morini hired the young Agostini to ride for him. In 1964, Agostini would win the Italian 350 title and proved his ability by finishing 4th in the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. World Championships. These results caught the eye of Count Domenico Augusta, who signed Agostini to ride for his MV Agusta squad as Mike Hailwood's teammate. Agostini then fought a season-long battle with Honda's Jim Redman for the 1965 350 World Championship. He seemed to have the title won when he led the final round in Japan at Suzuka when his bike failed him, handing the title to Redman. At the end of the 1965 season, Hailwood left to join Honda as he had tired of working for the difficult Count Augusta. With Agostini now the top MV Agusta rider, he responded by winning the 500 title 7 years in succession for the Italian factory. He would also win the 350 title 7 times in succession and won 10 Isle of Man TT. At the time, the Isle of Man TT and the Ulster Grand Prix were regularly won by Anglophonic, mostly British riders. In addition to Agostini's successes at the TT, he also won 7 Ulster Grand Prix races. He was the only non-British rider to achieve the same kind of success in these British motorcycle races, which were 2 of the most difficult. In 1967, he battled Hailwood in one of the most dramatic seasons in Grand Prix history. Each rider had 5 victories before the championship was decided in Agostini's favor at the last race of the season. Agostini dropped a bombshell on the Grand Prix world when he announced he would never again race at the Isle of Man TT after the death of his close friend, Gilberto Parlotti, during the 1972 TT. He considered the 37-mile circuit unsafe for World Championship competition. At the time, the TT was the most prestigious race on the motorcycling calendar. Other top riders joined his boycott of the event, and by 1977, the event was struck from the Grand Prix schedule. Agostini surprised the racing world when he announced that he would leave MV Agusta to ride for Yamaha in 1974 season. On his first outing for the Japanese factory, he won the prestigious Daytona 200, the premier American motorcycle race. He went on to claim the 1974 350 World Championship, but injuries and mechanical problems kept him from winning the 500 crown. He rebounded and won the 1975 500 title, marking the first time a 2-stroke machine won the premier class. The 1975 championship would also be the last world title for the 33-year-old Italian. In 1976, he rode both Yamaha and MV bikes in the 500 class, yet raced only once in the 350 to win in Assen. For the challenging Nürburgring, He chose the 500 MV Augusta and took it to victory, winning the last Grand Prix for both himself, the mark, and the last for four-stroke engines in the 500 class. He retired from motorcycle competition after finishing sixth in the 1977 season, in which he also raced in 750 endurance races for Yamaha. Racing car career. Like Jean-Pierre Beltoise, John Surtees, and Mike Hailwood before him, Agostini raced in Formula One cars. He competed in non-championship Formula One races in 1978. He competed in the European Formula 2 Series in a Chevron B42 BMW and British Aurora Formula One with his own team and a Williams FW6. He ended his auto racing career in 1980. Team manager. In 1982, Agostini returned to motorcycle racing as the Marlboro Yamaha team manager. In this role, he won 3 500 titles with Eddie Lawson and managed many successful riders including Graham Crosby and Kenny Roberts. Under his management, riders won the 1982 Daytona Formula One Crosby, 1983, and 1984 Daytona Formula One Roberts, and 1986 Daytona Superbike Championships Lawson. Between 1986 and 1990, he also managed the Marlboro Yamaha 250 team with riders like Luca Cadalora, Martin Wimmer, and Alex Crivell. Since 1992, he served as the Cagiva factory racing team manager until 1994, when Cagiva withdrew from the World Championship. Agostini's last season as team manager was 1995, when he managed a 250 Honda team with Doriano Romboni as rider. Complete Grand Prix motorcycle racing results. Points system from 1964 to 1968. Points system from 1969 onwards. Complete Formula 750 championship results. Complete British Formula One championship results. He